Hi guys, Korean movie recapped here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I'm going to recap a Korean realistic melodrama movie released in 2017, called Mothers. This movie tells the story of a woman who has to take care of her stepchild from her husband's previous marriage. Currently, she must try to survive her life because she does not have a permanent job, while she also has to take care of her stepchild because her husband is dead and the grandmother of the child suffers from dementia. What will happen next? Let's find out together. The story begins with a woman named Hyojin who called her mother when the teaching time was over. She has a place for learning guidance, but students are not so much. She manages that place with her friend, Miron, who is currently pregnant. After returning from teaching, Miron complained to Hyojin because her stomach was bigger and heavier to carry everywhere. Then, Miron also advised Hyojin to pay more attention to her health. Lately Hyojin often looks tired. She has not fully recovered from the death of her husband who died about 2 years ago. Not long after, Hyojin was seen chatting with a man at a cafe. She told the man what her living conditions were like. It turned out that the man was a graduate student who was studying counseling. But in the middle of the conversation, Hyojin's mother called her and worried about her illness. Hearing this, Hyojin tried to calm her down. The next day, Hyojin was looking around the place. She was planning to move her tutoring place to a better place, but she still hesitated to buy it because she wasn't sure if she would continue her work. In the middle of a conversation with the seller, suddenly Hyojin was called by her husband's relative's uncle and she was asked to meet him at a cafe. While at the cafe, the uncle asked for permission to look after Wook, the son from her husband's previous marriage. Previously, Wook was cared for and raised by his grandmother. But at this time, his grandmother was diagnosed with dementia and Wook had to be entrusted. Uncle also explained that this child is a good child and does not like to cause trouble. Hearing this, Hyojin asked why he didn't just take care of his uncle. The uncle also says that their family's financial condition is not good, so they can't take care of Wook. Hyojin, who was confused, could only stay silent and try to think about it. After a while, Hyojin travels to the residence of Wook, the child to be raised. But when she got there, Hyojin did not find Wook and only met a girl who was a close friend of Wook. Later, the girl tells her that Wook left and doesn't know where. Then, Hyojin also gave her phone number and asked the girl to call her if she got any news about Wook. The next day at the tutoring place, Miron was talking to a man who wanted to buy the place. Then, she called Hyojin who was taking care of Wook's school transfer. That's the moment when Hyojin and Wook first met. Long story short, Hyojin picked up Wook at the station to take him home. At night, Hyojin talks to Wook who is dreaming. She gives some rules that Wook must obey at home. Knowing Wook's presence at Hyojin's house, her mother scolded her. Not accepting always being scolded, Hyojin slightly vented her frustration and made her mother leave the place. In the evening, during dinner together, Hyojin offers Wook to go to the library down the road if he wants to study. However, Wook instead borrowed money to meet his grandmother. Hyojin also allowed it and gave him some money. The next day, Wook goes with his friend Mi. Instead of going to their grandmother's place, they looked like they were looking for someone but couldn't find it. Because it was late at night, they decided to stay at a hotel. Not getting news from Wook made Hyojin worried and reported Wook's disappearance to the police station. On the other hand, with the money running low, Wook and Mi are seen at the church. Mi, who saw Wook sleeping, took Wook's phone and called Hyojin to tell her their location. Arriving at home, Hyojin scolded Wook. But Wook just kept quiet and went to his room. The next day, Hyojin visited Miron's house. There Hyojin tells about Wook who is very different from other children. In the evening, Hyojin walks up to Wook and asks if Mi is his girlfriend. Hyojin thought they were going on a date. Even though Mi only came to accompany and help Wook find someone. While at the salon, Hyojin accidentally saw Wook distributing flyers. She was confused by what Wook was doing. Not long after, Hyojin called Mi. It turns out that all this time Wook was looking for his biological mother. He kept looking for his mother but he couldn't find her. The next day, Hyojin came to the hospital to ask some questions about Wook's grandmother's child or Wook's biological mother. However, the hospital said that the grandmother had no daughter because she had been dead for a long time. On the other hand, Wook is seen accompanying his grandmother at the orphanage. Hyojin also came to see grandmother while picking up Wook. On the way home, Hyojin asked Wook if he was looking for his mother, but Wook was silent. The scene switches to Miron's house, where Hyojin says that Wook's mother is still alive. Hearing this, Miron was shocked because she only knew that Wook's biological mother had died. There, Hyojin began to be curious and doubtful about her husband. On the other hand, Wook receives a message from Mi saying that Mi is in trouble because she has slept with a man and is pregnant. Moments later, at the station, Mi hugs Wook as a sign of their farewell. Mi will be raised by a family who will be the mother and father of the child she is carrying. However, Mi tells Wook that she will be living with her aunt. Elsewhere, Hyojin is seen selling her car because she needs money. But she asked for a week to hand over the car, because she is going on a trip to find Wook's mother in the village. Then, Hyojin and Wook went to look for his mother in all possible villages where Wook's biological mother was. On the way, she asked a merchant about the address of the person in the photo she was holding. Feeling familiar with the person in the photo, the merchant asked her to come to the house next to the temple. Quickly, Hyojin came to that place and saw a woman there. There, Hyojin went downstairs and talked to the woman. Hyojin said that her husband died many years ago and asked the woman why she left Wook. From their conversation, we learned that the woman was not Wook's biological mother. The woman explains that she has taken care of Wook since childhood but she got sick. She doesn't want to hurt Wook because of her illness. Hearing that explanation, Hyojin asked the woman to claim to be Wook's biological mother. After Hyojin returned to the car, Wook went to the toilet and met the woman. At the hotel, Wook says that he knows that the woman is not his mother. He also knew that his mother had long since died. Wook just wants to know why that woman left him as a child. Since then, Hyojin's relationship with Wook has grown closer. The next day, Wook and Mi go to the hospital with their aunt to check on Mi child's condition. After the examination, the aunt was very happy when she saw the movement of the child in Mi's stomach. Arriving at the aunt's house, Wook overhears that Mi is going to sell her child to the aunt. Hearing this makes Wook leave Mi. Then, Mi followed him and told him that this was the right decision for the continuation of her child's life to become more viable. On the other hand, Hyojin, who was cleaning, saw the ultrasound photo on Wook's desk. He was surprised and asked Wook. At that time, Wook admitted that the child was his. Hearing this, Hyojin was annoyed but Wook immediately closed the door to his room. The next day at a cafe, Mi and Wook discuss the baby Mi is carrying. Mi also tells Hyojin that Wook is not the father of Mi's child. At night in the park, the dreamy Wook is approached by Hyojin and they talk to each other. Then, Wook asked why Hyojin wanted to live with him. Hyojin replies that in order to decide something, we have to sacrifice something. So whatever decision is made, something has to be let go. Hearing that, Wook fell silent. The next day, Hyojin's mother came to her house and talked there. When Wook came home from school, Hyojin's mother gave him money and smiled at him. Hyojin's mother has accepted Wook and is no longer holding grudges. In the evening, Hyojin and Wook commemorate the anniversary of Wook's father's death with his favorite chocolate cake and soup. This is the first time Hyojin has commemorated it again after years of not celebrating it for fear of recalling past memories. She also told Wook about her past when she was with her husband. Some time later, Wook visits Mi, who gave birth at the hospital. He asks Mi if she doesn't want to see her son just once. Mi says no and explains that she has given the baby a nice family gift. In the nursery, the aunt who adopted baby Mi looks happy to see her baby. Wook approaches her and smiles at them. At the end of the movie, Wook, who is still curious, returns to the residence of the woman he met. There the woman told how much she missed Wook and hugged him while crying. The woman also apologizes for leaving Wook as a child. In that hug, Wook cries sadly. In the midst of hugs and tears, the story ends. From this movie, we can see how a mother struggles in various circumstances. There are mothers who live normal lives such as getting married, pregnant, giving birth, and having children. There are mothers who are fussy with their daughters, there are mothers who have to take care of their stepchild, there are also mothers who have to give up their child for a better life. There is no complicated conflict in this movie, there is only a mother's endless love for her child. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.